Hello, everyone. We have a really super special guest today that I'm super excited to bring to you to help elevate your profession, your direction as a dietitian. And I have Jenna Gorham, who is with the RD Link. Welcome, Jenna.
Thanks, Stacy. Thanks for having me.
So happy to have you here because you are a wealth of information. You've built this beautiful business. I think you and I connected on sort of talking about building websites for dietitians and building a business that helps promote the dietitian, which I think you and I are so aligned on that. So thank you for the work that you've done with RD Link.
Absolutely. Yes. No, and I'm happy to share. I mean, I think just like we were just saying before the call, I mean, the more it's open to everyone. So the more the merrier in the field.
Yeah, yeah. You've got a lot of people that are already members of your RD Link, and you've got a lot of companies that are also in there as well. So maybe take us a step back and tell us a little bit about how you came up with this idea. It's genius, and what the RD Link is.
Sure. I'll start with what it is to give people a little background. So the RDLink, it's an online platform that allows dietitians to connect directly with brands to seek out whether you're looking for free product samples and coupons to share with clients or at events, or to pursue paid partnerships with brands too. So I started it. I think the idea really came first out of personal need and really having that struggle with finding the right contact and figuring out how to connect with brands. And when I was in private practice too, I found that my clients were always asking me what products I recommended and what types of granola bars I ate or would recommend for them. And so I found it just provided value to my clients to work with brands. And then as I evolved into consulting and working on the brand side, I found that brands also want to connect with dietitians. So both brands and dietitians, they want to connect, but neither party really knows the best way to go about it and find those relationships. So for many years, I was doing it just by hand, and dietitians would come to me and say, hey, I have this opportunity. Like, do you have any brands who would be interested in sharing samples or partnering on this? And so I would share the opportunities with my brand partners and contacts that I had. And it was just a lot to manage by hand. So I always wanted to put it online and make it more accessible to everyone. So the goal is to really make dietitians more accessible to food companies so that they're sharing accurate and credible nutrition information with their consumers. So
That's fantastic. That's a
yeah.
great. I love that story. And if our viewers haven't already been to the website, go quickly because it is just gorgeous. It's super easy to navigate. It's just a great platform. It's really easy to use. But I thought you brought up an interesting point about the companies themselves. I think as a dietitian who has an interest in working with brands or wants to generate more income working with brands, I think the first idea about that process is that it's a little bit scary
Mhm.
and that the companies don't want to work with us. So I think you just said something super important, and that is both people want each other, right? The company
Yeah,
wants to work with the
exactly.
dietitian. They want to spend their money. They have a marketing budget and they want to spend it to get the word out to increase their revenue for their business, right? And the dietitian has the ability to connect with that company and receive a payment for that or receive product or whatever it might
Yep.
be and get that word out to the customer so there's like it's a great way. I think it's important to know that the companies are looking for this and they do want to spend their
Absolutely. Yeah.
money.
And I think more and more so lately too, I'm finding more brands are really understanding what a dietitian is and what they can do for their company. And I mean, they're looking to work with dietitians in a huge variety of ways, not just social media, but also like behind the scenes work too. So they're really just looking for that credibility because it makes their consumers trust them more too.
Exactly. Yeah. And so walk us through the process. So, as let's say a brand new person, brand new user is, they create their account gets accepted. And what would be like the next step for that person, or how would they fill out their profile to sort of optimize their
Yeah.
opportunities?
Yep. So, like you said, we do approve each dietitian account just to ensure that everyone on the site is a dietitian or nutrition expert. We accept other degrees as well. And accounts are free for dietitians. So once your account is approved, the first step, and I think the most important thing really, is to have a profile picture. So I find that some dietitians will choose not to do a profile picture, which is okay, but some of our brands have said that they'll actually only reach out to the dietitians who have a profile photo, just because it makes you look more engaged and active on the site. So I think that is the first step. The next would be to create a description or short, I don't like to call it a bio because I think those can be a little too serious and formal, but more of a description about just what you do, who you work with, how you like to work with brands, what you're looking to get out of being on Link. And then you can also link to any social media profiles you have, your website, and if you have a media kit or a list of services, you can upload that document as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I didn't know that you had room for the media kit. That's good because it can
Yep.
show them how robust your business is. Even if you have a small number of followers, that just shows that you have created a media kit in the first place. So on the profile, would they put their profile picture or would they put their company logo if they made a company?
Whichever you prefer.
Okay, that's good.
I think the profile photo adds a touch of just personality and a personal touch. So on the brand profiles, we actually have the contact person, we have their name, and they have a profile photo as well. Just because I find dietitians and brands, they like to have a personal relationship with who they're working with. So I think it's nice to have your own photo there, but
Yeah,
you can probably do a logo too.
that's a good pro tip, I think, because I think we're all learning that it's not just your logo, it's not just your company, it's your personality, it's who you are, who you're bringing to the arrangement, the agreement. And then, so what types of services can the dietitian then provide for the company? Like, what kinds of ways can they work with a brand?
There's so many different ways. So it really just depends on the dietitian and what you're good at and what you like to do. So I think a lot of people, we first think of social media and things like recipe development, but I know for me, neither of those are really my skill sets. So I think there's so many other opportunities. So I encourage dietitians to think about what are you currently offering or working on for your clients and where could a brand get involved. So we've worked with dietitians to sponsor things like webinars or online courses or podcasts or ebooks and cookbooks. There's so many different ways you can work with
Oh, I
brands.
love all those. Those
Mhm.
are those are all brilliant, especially if you don't have a client base set up yet, and you are giving presentations maybe out into the
Yeah,
community.
presentations too.
You can, two sources of income from the brand and from maybe the venue that's paying you an honorarium or something, or you can offer that presentation for free and your reimbursement, your services get paid by the brand. So that's good. And everybody wins because
Exactly.
the information gets out there to the community. That's fantastic. What are some other sort of pro tips that a dietitian could do to their profile in addition to what you've said, or to make contact with the companies? Is there another way that they can sort of boost their opportunities?
Yeah, there's a few ways. So, the first step is really building out your profile. The next is you can post partnership opportunities. So, if you have something, like say you're looking for samples to share at an upcoming health fair, or you're doing a cooking demo and you're looking to work with a brand, you can post that as a partnership opportunity on the site. And then brands, they not only get access to our dietitian database, but they get access to the partnership opportunities. So, that's just another place for them to find you and learn more about how they can work with you. The other thing is just to reach out to the brands. So you get access to all of our brands that are on the site, and you can browse their profiles and see if they'd be a good fit for you and your audience. And then you can send them direct messages just to reach out and learn more about them, ask to try products or samples, or request them to share with your clients, or even pitch your ideas for partnership.
Oh, that's fantastic. I know that you've got new brands coming all the time because, like you said, like we were saying, that there are so many new brands coming onto the market, and understanding
Yep.
the value of the dietitian and the dietitian voice and the dietitian connection with the community and their clients. And so, like, all these different brands that you have are just fantastic. It seems like there's some connection that can be made for any type of opportunity. So that's really good to know. Do you have any good success stories for us that would be interesting?
Yeah. I mean, we use success stories all the time. So, um, I think one recent one, there was a dietitian who had never worked with brands before, but she started this new company to support cancer patients. And she was looking to put together goodie bags to share with all of these patients. So she reached out to a handful of brands that she thought would be a good fit for her audience, and just to request samples and coupons. And she had a lot of success, and she worked with, I want to say, at least 4 brands or so donated coupons and products for her to share in these goodie bags. But we've had other dietitians. We have one dietitian who is a retail dietitian, and she really wanted to work with brands outside of the retail space. So she really worked hard to start posting more on social media and offering recipe development. And she's very consistent with her pitching, and she is always offering up new ideas, and she's great at coming up with unique creative recipes and ways that she can work with these brands. So she's done a handful of sponsored posts on her Instagram too, with a relatively small following too.
Oh, that's good to know.
Mhm.
So samples, that seems sort of clear, like how that relationship would work. How
Yeah.
does the how does the payment work for a dietitian working with a brand who will then sponsor their webinar, or how does that work?
So the dietitians on our site, they set their own rates. So it really depends on a variety of things. So say use the webinar example. So it depends on how many people you're expecting to attend, or how else you're going to promote this webinar. So are you also going to promote it on social media? Do you have an email list? So really factor in how many people you're going to reach with their brand message. Plus then you have opportunities for them to share product or get the product in the hands of these people. Do you have a series of webinars, and maybe they're included in a package of 3 webinars? Or there's a lot of factors that go into it. So it all depends. But dietitians set their rates, and then you can easily invoice the brands directly through the site, and then they can easily just quickly pay you. So I find it makes it much easier and quicker to get paid.
Jenna, this is genius. This is fantastic. I'm super excited for you, but I'm even more excited for all the dietitians that can find these new opportunities. Another way to expand your practice as a dietitian, expand your voice, and getting our word out there as nutrition experts, nutrition professionals. Jenna, thank you so much for sharing all this. Everybody, get over to the RD link and get your account signed up. If you already have an account, you did one a little while ago, get back in there, get active, and start connecting with those companies. So thank you, Jenna.
Thanks, Stacey.